Bcom Semester 1, Economics, Chapter number 3. Hello, friends. Happy New Year after Diwali, after vacation. Today, we are going to start your syllabus of economics, and your chapter number 3 is elasticity of demand. We have completed your two chapter. Our last chapter was basic concept of economics. So, guys, now this is a very important chapter of your syllabus, that is elasticity of demand. This point you have learned very well in your 11th commerce. So, guys, what is elasticity of demand? Elasticity, we know the word elasticity. What is elastic? Elastic means it is stretchable. We can stretch it. We can, when we lose it, it will be again narrowed. So, guys, shrinkage and elasticity, that are very common words. Now we will understand the elasticity of demand. What is elasticity of demand? So, guys, we know the law of demand, that when the price of product will increases, its demand will get decreases. So demand will fall down when the price rises, and when the price fall down, its demand will automatically be increases. So this is a very one common determinants, that is price. When price get changed, it will also affect to the demand, that it will be effect, there will be effect in the demand, that according to the price its demand will also be changed opposite, in the opposite direction. So as we know very well that price and demand has inverse relation. Now not only the price, but there are some other determinants, that income of the customers, price of related goods. So guys, we can say expectation about the future prices of the product. So there are some other factors by which the demand of the product will also be changed, or we can say that it will give effect to the demand of the product. So here in the elasticity of demand, we will see the basic meaning of the elasticity of demand. And as you can see, here are some of the points that we are going to discuss in this chapter. Our first point is meaning of elasticity of demand. So guys, I will clearly tell you that what is elasticity of demand. So as we can take an example, that if the price is raised by 5%, price of product is raised by 5%, then what changes will get in the demand of the product. So as usual, we know that when the price rises, its demand will be fall down, its demand will be decreased. So in the elasticity of demand, we can exactly know that in what proportion, or we can say in what ratio, the price and demand get affected. When price is raised by 5%, how much percentage of the demand will fall down in the market. So guys, here we need to understand about the ratio, that how much percentage of the price will change of the product, and how much changes will get in the demand by the ratio of 5%. Let's understand meaning of elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand is a technical or mathematical term. One of the most important feature of demand for any product is that it changes with the changes in any of its determinants. Not it is not about only the price, but when the demand is changed by the income, when the demand is changed by price, when the demand is changed by the prices of related products. So there are many other factors by which we can say the demand of price is changed, or we can say demand of product is changed. So here we will understand the first, that what is the price elasticity of demand. When the demand of product is changed, or we can say when the demand of any product is changed by the change in the price of the product, then we can say it is a price elasticity of demand. So guys, let's understand the meaning and the definition given here under the point, that is, so guys, in the meaning of price elasticity of demand, what is price elasticity of demand? Price elasticity of demand means when there will be a change in the price of the product, it will also affect the demand of the product. Because as you know very well that when the price rises, means when the price increases, the demand of the product will get decreases. So here we will see the law of demand states, functional relationship between the change in the price of the commodity and change in the demand for it. Actually, the demand for commodity is a function of many factors, but the law of demand refers to the extension or contraction of demand in response to given change in price, assuming other factors remaining constant. So guys, when there will be a change in price, it will affect to the demand of the product. And in the elasticity of demand, we need to see that in what proportion or in what ratio the price and the demand will get changed. Here we have an example of it. We will see, though the law of demand state that fall in price is accompanied by extension of demand for a commodity and vice versa, but it does not tell us anything about the proportionate changes. For example, a fall in the price of commodity by 2% may result in the extension of demand by 5% or 1%. That is, the percentage change in demand may be more or less than percentage change in price. So guys, here you can understand very clearly that when the price is increased or price is decreased by, for example, 5%, what percentage change will get in the demand of the product. So here we need to get an idea about the exact proportionate of the change by the change in the demand of the product by any determinants. So here we need to know about the exact proportionate, exact ratio. The price elasticity of demand attempts to measure the relationship between the percentage change in price and percentage change in demand for a given commodity. It is a measure of the responsiveness of the demand to a change in its price. Thus, so guys, here we have a formula to find the elasticity of demand. What is the formula? Here we will see elasticity of demand is equal to percentage change in demand for product X divided by percentage change in price of product X. Symbolically, we can write this formula like this, that elasticity of demand is percentage change in demand of product X divided by percentage change in price of product X. So here we have given the terminology. O bar is equal to percentage change, Qx is equal to quantity of demand X, X demanded, and Px is equal to price of product X. So if price falls by 1% and the quantity X demanded raises by 20%, we have when we put the number in the formula, we will get answer minus 20. So the elasticity of price, or we can, sorry, elasticity of product will be minus 20. It may be noted that price elasticity of demand is negative, since there is inverse relationship between change in the price of commodity and change in its demand. It is for the sake of convenience that economists ignore the negative and generally use positive figure. In the above example, the price elasticity is minus 20, but we refer it is plus 20. So there will be no such consideration of negative, or we can say the minus answer. So the elasticity of demand will always be in the positive. So when we get minus figure, we will also consider it as a positive figure. So guys, this is what all about the price elasticity of demand. Now we will move for the measurement of price elasticity of demand. How can we measure the price elasticity of demand? So we will see different methods are used to measure the price elasticity of demand. Most important among them are total outlay method and percentage change method. There are two different methods to find, or we can say to measure the price elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of demand means when there is a change in the price, it will affect the demand of the product. So here the relationship between price and its demand, and we know it very well by the law of demand, that when the price rises, its demand decreases, or we can say fall down. But when the price fall down, the demand of the product increases. But in the elasticity of demand, we will get clear idea about the percentage change in price with the percentage change in demand. If the price of product will be changed by, or we can say will be increased by 5%, how much percentage of the change will get in the demand of the product. So here we need to focus on the proportionate of both the thing, the determinants like price, income and other determinants, and how much, or we can say what percentage change will get in the demand of the product. So guys, here in the measurement of price elasticity of demand, there are two different methods. The one is total outlay method and the second is percentage change method. So here we will discuss both the method. Let's start with the first method, that is total outlay method. So okay, sorry guys, here in the total outlay method we will see Professor Marshall suggested total outlay method. Who suggested total outlay method? Professor Marshall. So this question may be asked in your multiple choice questions or in one liner question. So you need to be focused on each and every lines. Here, Professor Marshall suggested total outlay method to measure price elasticity of demand. Total outlay is obtained by multiplying total quantity purchased by per unit price. Total quantity is equal to quantity into price, where TQ, that is total quantity, is total outlay. Q represent total quantity purchased and P represent per unit price of the commodity. According to the law of demand, demand expand. Expand means increases. Demand expands with the fall in price. Fall means decreases. When price decreases, its demand expand, or we can say increases. Price fall is a factor which tends to reduce total outlay, but expansion of demand is a factor which tends to increase total outlay. Therefore, there are three possibilities. Total outlay may decrease with fall price, or total outlay may remain constant in spite of fall in the price, or total outlay may increase with the fall in price. So guys, here we are given the example. Let's see, if total outlay decreases with the fall in price, demand is said to be inelastic or less elastic. For example, here the price of product is rupees 3 and the quantity of demand that is 30 units. Then total we can say quantity, that is total outlay, is rupees 90. And when demand when the price decreases, before there will be price is 3 rupees, but now price decreases and it will come to rupees 2. Then when the price is rupees 2 and the quantity, because when the price decreases, it will its demand will increases. So when the price is rupees 2 and demand is 40 unit, the total outlay will be rupees 80. So here we have got negative outlay. So we can say when total outlay decreases with fall in price, total outlay decreases, demand is said to be inelastic. Now we have a second situation, that is if total outlay remain constant in spite of the fall in price, demand is said to be unitary elastic. So here we have given the formula, or we can say the example. When the price is rupees 3 and the demand of the product is 30 unit, the total outlay will be 90 rupees. But when the price decreases, its demand will definitely will increase. So when the price will be rupees 2 and the demand will be 45 units, it will also be the 90. So total outlay will remain constant. So here we have got the clear idea about the law of demand. So when the price decreases, the demand will be increased. But after that also we have got the equal total outlay in before and after situations. So when we get this kind of situation, we can say that if the total outlay remains constant in spite of the fall in price, demand is said to be unitary elastic. And when we get the less, or we can say when the total outlay decreases, we can say the demand is inelastic. And here when the total outlay will be constant, then we can say it is unitary elastic demand. And now we will see the third situation, that is if total outlay increases with the fall in price, demand is said to be elastic or more elastic. For example, here we have given the example that when the price is rupees 3 and the demand is 30 unit, total outlay will be rupees 90. But when the price decreases and it comes to rupees 2, and when the fall in the price, it expands the demand and demand will be 50 units. So our total outlay will be 100 rupees. So here we have given the increased total outlay. Let's see if the total outlay increases with the fall in price. With the fall in price, when the total outlay increases, demand is said to be elastic, or we can say it is more elastic. And we also have seen the example. So guys, this is what all about the total outlay method. When the question will be asked in your exam, you can elaborate question by giving these kind of examples and the proper explanation. So here guys, we have given the graphs and the detailed explanation about each and every situation. Let's see it one by one. In this case, demand expand with the fall in the price and total outlay also goes up. All these possibilities can be represented diagrammatically as follows. So guys, here in the figure 1, we have on the see there are two, the one is x-axis and the y-axis. On the x-axis we are given total outlay, and on the y-axis we are given price. Here the price 1, price 2 and price 3, and we can also see that when the price 1 here from 0, there is a, so see we can say there is an increase in the price, and there will be increase in the total outlay. So the graph will go on like this, because both the terms are increasing. But at certain point, for example, it is a price 1, at certain point the price will be increased, but its total outlay will remain constant. And after that, it will be when the price increases but the total outlay will get decreased. So from price 1 to price, sorry, from 0 to price 1, both the things are being increased. But from price 1 to price 2, there is a certain point of time in which price will go from 1 to 2, means price will be increased but the total outlay will remain constant. And after price 2, means after this point, when price will get increased but the total outlay will remain constant. So guys, here we are given the explanation of it. You can read the same explanation in your book also. Now we will move further to the percentage change method. So as we know that there are two different methods of measurement of price elasticity of demand, under which we have already discussed the total outlay method, and now we will see the percentage change method. But before starting percentage change method, I would like to explain it even more better, that this one is, we have seen our first situation, that is inelastic, or this one is unitary, and this one is more elastic. So guys, here we are given the three different situation of the price elasticity of demand in the total outlay method. When the price increases and the total outlay increases, it is perfectly elastic, it is unitary, and we can say it is negative because total outlay will get decreases and price increases. So this is the third situation, this is the second situation, and this is the first situation. Now we will see percentage change method. While total outlay method helps to us to know whether demand is more or less elastic, it does not give us exact value of price elasticity of demand. Percentage change method suggested by Dr. Flux. So guys, you need to note down this line, you need to note down this point, that who suggested percentage change method. So we can clearly write in the exam that Dr. Flux suggested the percentage change method, and this method gives us exact value, and therefore it is superior to total outlay method. And it is widely, percentage change method is widely used to measure to do the measurement of price elasticity of demand. So in this method, under this method, percentage change in demand is to be compared with the percentage change in price. Symbolically, it is represented as follows. So here we are given the formula: elasticity of price is equal to change in demand divided by total demand, divided by change in price divided by total price. So after done some of the simplification, we will get the formula like change in demand by change in price multiplied by price by demand. So this is the formula of percentage change method, and by putting this formula we can get an answer, or we can say we can measure the price elasticity of demand of any situation. Here we are given the terminology, where D is equal to original quantity demanded, delta D is equal to change in demand quantity demanded, P is equal to original price, delta P, that is change in price, and EP, that is elasticity of price, or sorry, we can say price elasticity of demand. Here we are given the example. Suppose a household purchases 16 apples at per unit price of rupees 4, but when the price goes up to rupees 6, before in the situation there will be price 4, but now price goes up and price will be rupees 6, so it is increased by rupees 2. It purchases 12 units, so in the price 4 there will be the demand of apples is 16 unit, but when the price increases demand will get decreases and it will be 12 unit. In this case, price elasticity of demand may be accessed as follows. Now we need to put the formula that we have seen as above, and we will put the formula over here. We have the formula. We just need to write change in demand divided by change in price multiplied by price by demand. So from this example, we need to just carry out the prices and the changes, and we just need to put these numbers into the formula and we will get the answer, that is 1 by 2. Thus in this case price elasticity of demand is 1 by 2, meaning thereby proportionate change in demand is 1/2 of the proportionate change in price. So here we can say that when the price is we can say it is half, means when there is a change in price is by 10 percentage, it will give effect 5% in the demand. So it is 1 by 2 is the proportionate change in price and the demand. So we will get by putting this formula exact number of the proportion of the elasticity of demand. And here we are given some detailed explanation of the percentage change method that you need to read by yourself, if you have the books, and if you don't have the book then just text me in the group of your WhatsApp group. I will send you the PDF. So guys, now we will move further and goes to the next point, that is types of price elasticity of demand. Now what are the different types of price elasticity of demand? We will see the degree of responsiveness of demand to change in price of a commodity is not always same. For different commodities is bound to be different. It is therefore useful to classify price elasticity in terms of the degree of responsiveness of demand of to price. On the basis of percentage change method, the economics have described 5 different price elasticity of demand. These are follows. So guys, it is not always like same for all the types of product. As we know that when the price rises, the demand of product will get decreased, but it is not same for all kind of product. There are some products which are not much affected by the price. Suppose for example, we have a stapler pin, or we can take an example of salt. If the price of salt fall down, then it is not that people will use more salt. The uses of salt will remain same, and if the price of salt will be increased, then people will not stop using salt. So there are many such kind of product which are not much be affected by its prices. So there are some other products, which means we can clearly say that all the product, or we can say all kind of product have not the same effect, or we can say we are not get affected by same kind of rules or same kind of such kind of methods. So there are 5 different types of price elasticity of demand that we need to see it one by one. In the types of price elasticity demand, there are 5 different types. The one is perfectly elastic demand, that is elasticity is equal to alpha. And the second type is perfectly inelastic demand, that is elasticity is equal to 0. Then the third type is unitary elastic demand, that is elasticity is equal to 1. And the fourth type is elastic demand, that is elasticity is greater than 1. And the fifth type is elastic demand, that is elasticity is less than 1. So guys, here we have 5 different types of price elasticity demand. Now we will see it one by one. The first one is perfectly elastic demand. When an insignificant or extremely small change in prices causes extraordinary large change in demand, we have the case of perfectly elastic demand. A slight rise in price reduces the demand to 0, and slight fall in price increases the demand to infinity. The demand curve in such case is horizontal to x-axis, see figure 2 below. So guys, here we can see clearly that a nominal, or we can say a normal change in price will boundless changes in its demand. So on the x-axis we are given the demand, and on the y-axis we are given the price. So guys, you need to understand this perfectly elastic demand. So guys, what is perfectly elastic demand? You need to understand this point. So clearly focus that when a nominal or a minor change in price, when a minor change in price gives effect, or we can say give boundless effect, or we can say give extreme effect to its demand. For example, a price of product is increased a minor, or we can say at a very we can say a very few level, or we can say at a very less effectiveness, then the demand of product will get zero, or the price of product will be decreased by 1% or 0.5%, then its demand will be increased undefinedly, or we can say infinity. So when a small change in price, gives the effect to its demand very extremely, then it will be known as perfectly elastic demand. We can I will read again, that a slight rise in price reduces the demand to zero, or a slight fall in price increases the demand to infinity. So this is the case, we can say this is a case of perfectly elastic demand. Now guys, we will move further to the second type, that is perfectly inelastic demand, that I have given you the example of salt, that whether the price rises or whether the price fall down, there will be no change in the demand of its product. This will be considered as a perfectly inelastic demand. When demand for a commodity remains constant irrespective of the change in its price, we have a case of perfectly inelastic demand. Here the change in price fails to bring about any change in demand for the commodity. Perfectly elastic demand, like a perfectly elastic demand, is a rare to come across in real life, but both of these are useful theoretical concept. When elasticity is zero, demand curve of a commodity is parallel to y-axis. See in the figure 3, we will see whether the price is 0, whether the price is 1, whether the price is 2, whether the price is 3, no matter what the price is, but its demand will be at. So here in the x-axis we are given the demand will be at only b, or at a single point, that there will be no change in the demand. So no matter what the price is, 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 but its demand will remain constant. There will be no change in the demand. So in this case, we can say it is a case of perfectly inelastic demand. So guys, this is what the perfectly inelastic demand is. Now we will move further to the next type, that is unitary elastic demand. It is a case when the change in price will be affect to the same proportionate change in its demand. Means when the prices rise by 5%, demand will be fall by 5%. When the prices fall by 10%, demand will be raised by 10%. So when there is an equal change in the price and the demand, we can say it is a unitary elastic demand. Let's see an example. In this case, elasticity is equal to 1. When a given percentage change in price of a commodity brings about the same percentage change in demand, demand is unitary elastic, that is equal to 1. Note that in such case, the proportionate change in price and the quantity demanded will be equal and opposite. A 5% a 5% fall in price will be accompanied by 5% raise in demand. The total expenditure on the commodity will therefore remain constant. The demand curve in such case will be rectangular hyperbola as depicted in figure 4. So here guys, we can clearly say this is hyperbola situation. On the x-axis we are given demand, on the y-axis we are given price, and here you can clearly see that when the you can clearly see that when the price is decreased by 5%, we will get the change, that demand will be increased by 5%. So in such kind of situation we will get the graph like this, and this kind of situation is known as unitary elastic demand. So that this is what about today in this lecture. Now we will come with the part 2 of this chapter, and we will discuss from our fourth type, that is elastic demand. So till then, goodbye, good night, and have a good day. Guys, this is what we have discussed in today's lecture, that is types of demand, price elasticity of demand, measurement of different methods of the price elasticity of demand. We have discussed the meaning of price elasticity demand, and we have seen these are points and what to be considered in this chapter and what exactly the elasticity of demand is. So that's it for today in this lecture. Goodbye, good night.